How's it going, guys? It's your boy Nicky D here, and welcome back to the channel. Alright, so, last episode you see me, well rather, saw me fumble the bag pretty bad. We're gonna just dive right into this. We're gonna figure this part out. I'm gonna be a smart boy here. I'm gonna play this one smart. Oh, wait, don't tell me. Oh, God. Sent me all the way back here? Man! I should have just saved. You fool! Alright, hang on.
They try to keep me in my own ways, but if I'm ever going back, I'll be 6 feet down.
Now I'm back to where I was. Okay, so this one wasn't sitting right with one. Oh, whoops. To be honest, I don't... Don't know why she would use that big lug thing. You probably... I don't know. Worth a shot? Oh! It was Galaxy Brain. Of course, when it's prosecution, this brain was rarely much used by students, and many have difficulty with using it. Is that correct? I believe so. It should include Karan-san, I think. Sorry, but I'll have to disagree. Huh? Oh. Thing is, the defendant is one of the few people who absolutely is not experienced with using this particular printer. Defense, please elaborate to the court. Okay. What do you got? Defendant works as a model for an agency. She frequently partakes in photo shoots for magazines and such. According to her, she has an affinity for printing out the photos she has taken of her. She likes to keep in a collection, see? As far as photos go, she likes printing them on, not on paper, but on vinyl. So what we're saying is, that's right, this is the printer she usually uses to get her photos. It can hardly be said that Karan-san is an experienced... okay. When she uses the regular for photo printing. So the defendant knew how to use the printer. Clarify your point with this. This is what I'm getting at? I think it's very simple. It all has to do with the timing. Since the defendant would not have difficulty with the printer, there's going to be a lot of time that's not accounted for. That didn't take Karan-san that long to print the homework. Why was there 15 minutes of time between the two club room access record then? Right, because if she knew how to actually operate that thing, she'd be in and out of there probably within 5 minutes, not even. It's no time for a second person to have coming on. That's the issue we need to figure out. Uh-oh. She gave us the boop boop desuwa. Wrong. Huh? Desuwa. Wrong. Have you been paying attention to this trial at all? The printer records clearly state that the printer was only turned on and used by one. It was used once by one person during the relevant time interval. That's right, that's true. I say the defendant simply spent 15 minutes goofing around. Your theory of a second printer user holds as much water as a thimble. That's not a lot of water. So how much do you intend to explain this? Why haven't the printer records turned up anyone else? Huh? As in like it has the printer records indicated like anybody else. Okay, I got it. Well, that's what we're trying to find. Out. Wrong again, you foolishly foolish fool. She is totally Von Karma. That's why you're trying to find out. You need to explain this inconsistency since you're the one implying the existence of another printer user within that 15-minute time span. Well, she's not wrong. I need an explanation for this. The printer was only turned on once. There could still have been a second user, and if so, how? Somehow this office is awfully familiar. What's your explanation? How could there have been a second printer user if the printer records only logged one entry? second printer user. Its printer records only logged one entry. Active printer. Second user could have used a different printer. For first user left the printer on. Yeah, because like if it's one of the top two. They used either a different printer or the first user left the printer on. It's one of these two. I'm gonna try toying with the idea of they used a different printer first. Oh wait, could be that one. But Cotton didn't bring anybody with her. And turns off after a minute of inactivity. I have a different printer. How could someone print the tickets if the big printer was only used by Cotton in the relevant time? Simple, the real culprit must have used a different printer at or around the time. No. No. Large white printer is the only one in the hallway through the 6 printer room capable of printing vinyl. I trust that you've inspected the room yourself to confirm this. But other printing rooms... But nothing. We have already established that the other printing rooms are too far away for your club members to have reached within the allotted time period. Negative defense. Let's see. Hear your revised statement. Okay, so it's not... So they probably left the printer on? You know, this is my second case, not my first. 2 months ago, I ran into this exact issue, the possibility of someone accessing something without leaving a trace, even though there normally would have been a log. Oh, I remember. Okay, I probably got this one right. You don't mean, yes, it's just like back then, with clubroom access records. Get to the point. If you can say something in one sentence, do so instead of wasting the court's time. Says you frickin' motor mouth. When we had our case about the laced bread. We're back to Emma and Katsumi. Emma-san entered the clubroom and never left any entry, even though the clubroom door handles keep track of everyone who enters. That was because Katsumi-chan happened to exit the room at the same time. Thus, Emma-san could enter the same clubroom without anyone else knowing. So it's defensively that's the same thing has happened here. 2 people used the printer. Only 1 entry. Defense believes that this warrants further investigation. Don't you agree? Did I see Ellie in that corner? Was that Ellie?
Nope.
Court agrees. We don't have enough information to make a ruling yet. Yes. Uh-oh. No. No! Printer in question shuts off after 1 minute of idle time. In fact, it was submitted alongside the printer records. If what the defense is saying is true, that means someone had to either use the printer 1 minute before the defendant did, or 1 minute after the defendant finished. However, there are no known club members who even began to approach the printing room around the relevant time, let alone within 1 minute of the defendant. No way. Well, what now? Not sure where we go from here. Don't worry, John. I'm here to help. I've been working hard too. I want to provide my assistance whenever possible. While you were bantering with Daya, I studied the printer specs again. And I found out that defense. What the hell are you? What is your aide giggling about? If you have something to say, share with the court. Your Honor, we've got a new development I think everyone needs to hear. What's that? What is it? According to the printer specs that IMU here just provided from the internet, 1 minute is only the default time that the printer is set to shut off after. But say that time was changed 5 or even 10 minutes. That would be enough time for someone unknown to have come and go within that huge 15-minute interval. Defense, you're putting me to sleep with a new amateurish performance. How amateurish your performance is. Can't be she's covered for this too. Don't underestimate me. Yeah, you don't underestimate me. You think that I haven't accounted for this situation? I'm prepared for all possibilities in this universe and beyond. That's the Kurosawa way. Okay, Doctor Strange. Jeez. I've already prepared a witness that can testify about this exact subject. No way! swear that looks like Ellie. Order, order, order. Oh my, looks like that wasn't enough. Sorry, Yuchan. Am I ever going to have a leg up on her? This is ridiculous. Witness is already in the waiting lobby. She is ready to go at a moment's notice. Prosecution calls Mifune Shioriko-san to the witness stand. Okay, we got Shioriko up in this bizzle. Very well. Bailiff, bring that witness to the stand. Witness, name and occupation, please. My name is Mifune Shioriko. I'm the school council president and a member of the school idol club. Occasionally, I also volunteer at the children's center nearby, if that counts. Oh, that's nice. Is that canon? Thank you. You were called upon due to your familiarity with printers in the printing room. Do you have an experience with the large white printer with the vinyl function? I do. What about it? We request that you testify about the printer's automatic turn-off feature. The defense believes that the time limit was set higher than the default limit of 1 minute. You're aware that the true time limit that it was set to, correct? Indeed. I'll get right on that. But, I have something important to bring up first. Maintenance workers of the school just handed me something that's probably very important to this case. And what would that be? The VIP tickets. Oh. I'm sorry, where are those supposed to be? I can't read the text on those tiny things from over here. It's the VIP tickets. Found them under the printer. Wait, what? You found them? Goodness, even Dyson didn't see that coming. Okay, so, Dai's cage is rattled a little bit. This could play to our favor. Well, this is an unexpected development. I'd like to ask, tickets have a timestamp on them, correct? What time did the tickets say they were printed? According to the tickets, they were printed at 4:15 p.m. Aha, I was right up. After all, it falls within the 15-minute interval that the defendant was in the printing room. Like I said it would. Damn. Okay, found behind it underneath the printer. No longer printed by club members at the printing room. Printed at 4:15 on the day of the crime. Another hurdle to try to overcome. Just my luck. Later this development, please specify that tickets were about the tickets and where you found them, in addition to this time setting on the printer. Understood. All right, let's see what we got. Tickets were found wedged underneath the large white printer. Question: I believe nobody would ever have been able to find them. If it hadn't been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, the maintenance team unbolted the printer for repairs and found the tickets there. The defendant must not have wanted to bring the tickets back to the practice. It looks like she wanted to hide them in the printing room and come back for them later, but was unable to get them out. As for the time setting on the printer, I confirm that they were left here on the default 1 minute before shutting off. I can tell you one thing, 1 minute is too small of a time frame for cameras on not to notice anyone else around the printing room and be able to share a printing session with them. So can you elaborate on the last part? Allow me to summarize the point. During questioning, the defendant had said that she never saw anyone coming from or going to the printing room. 1 minute's time is not enough. What? Low battery. Hang on for 1 second. Alright, anyway. 1 minute's time is not enough for any potential second person to get it far enough away from the printing room for her not to have noticed. If the so-called second person had any more time to get further away, the two of them would not have been able to share a printing session, as the printer would have been shut off between them. Printer records will be showing 2 entries. Therefore, the only explanation is that there never was a second person. This seems to make sense to me. How about you, defense? Are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Actually, I've got a question. Printer records state that the printer was turned on at 4:10, and it shuts off 1 minute after. It shuts off after 1 minute. How could the culprit stall until 4:15 to print it? Will it shut itself off? The printer has a special quirk about it. If a flash drive is plugged into the printer takes much longer to shut off. I suppose that's because it thinks that you have a job for it to do, so it holds off on shutting down. Let me reiterate that the defendant is known to have brought a flash drive to the printing room. Not to mention, when the defendant was done with the printer, she must have been taking her flash drive with her, meaning that the printer would have would be back to its default 1 minute before shutting off. That means that the defendant could have stalled within her printing activity, but not between hers or anyone else's. Mine's looking more terrible than ever. Please, I sure hope I can get some useful results here. Alright. Before I do the cross-examine, I'm just going to do a quick save. Okay. The tickets were found wedged underneath the large white printer. I believe nobody would have ever been able to find them. Well, to the table, how is that possible? It's hard to tell, but the printer has a set of extremely short rubber legs. Normally, they'd help prevent it from sliding around. But since ours is bolted to the table, they don't really do anything besides raise up about 1 millimeter. Nonetheless, that tiny gap is enough space to slide in a pair of VIP tickets. Jury's out on how the culprit expected to retrieve them, though. I noticed the gap, so I suppose it checks out. If it had been for the fact that the printer was suffering mechanical issues, the maintenance team unbolted the printer for repairs and found the tickets there. If I recall correctly, that's because the crease in the printer has been leaving on things it prints out, right? That's right, the printer's been having that issue for a while now. Actually, the maintenance crew had to unbolt the printer from the table to perform repairs, and that's when they found out about the tickets. Part of me is glad the tickets were found, and another part of me wishes they weren't. Yet it's another piece of evidence against us. It's yet another piece of evidence against us. The defendant must have not wanted to bring the tickets back to practice. It looks like she wanted to hide them in the printing room and come back for them later, but was unable to get them out. What makes you say that? Doesn't it make sense? If you secretly break a rule unknowingly, you want to keep that fact hidden. I feel that it's just natural that she tried to hide the VIP ticket somewhere before returning to practice. Defendant was in her idol outfits at the time, with how revealing it is and the lack of pockets. It wasn't feasible for her to hide the tickets on her person. Isn't that the same thing Ai-chan said yesterday? It is. Ai-chan also said that the motion when practicing would have caused the tickets to fall out if Carson tried to hide them in her clothes. Carson really did print those tickets. I don't doubt she would have wanted to hide them somehow. As for the time setting on the printer, I can confirm that they were left on the default 1 minute before shutting off. It's possible that the time was adjusted somehow between then and now. No, only staff members can change the settings of the printers nowadays. Huh, nowadays? Once upon a time, any student could change the time limit before the printer shut itself off if she wanted to do so. Until some ridiculous prankster thought it would be comical to change the time limit to 2 seconds. Kasumi, is that you? Yeah, it probably is. Oh my. He could hardly even navigate the settings to change it back before the printer shut off on us. It was awful. How are you even allowed to go down 2 seconds on that timer? Who the heck is that stingy with power? High tech my ass. Fortunately, the flash drive port mentioned earlier was what saved us. We plugged a flash drive in and it was enough time to turn the settings back. What a stupid printer. Remind me never to use it. Ever. Yeah, I wouldn't never use that printer either. If I can tell you one thing, 1 minute is too small of a time frame for Kanon-san not to have noticed anyone else around the printing room and be able to share a printing session with them. What if they ran, like, really fast? Ran? Yeah, let's say that they went and got out of there before Kanon-san saw them. If that were the case, don't you think the defendant would have heard them? But there was nothing of the sort. Plus, running in high heels is challenging. Not that I know. Alright, my bad. Yujin, have you noticed something? There are 2 perspectives that Shioriko-chan is talking about here. What do you mean? Well, first off, Shioriko-chan is talking about the tickets being found under the printer. And not only that, she's also testifying about how any other culprit could have been able to get away with it, waiting time. However, if you look carefully at her testimony, I feel like she's jumping to conclusions about one of those things. See if you can hammer at that.
They try to hit me, but it won't change. Yeah, but if I'm falling off, that's a long way down. Young Josh Shea, finally killing. I planned it, battle my.
Let me see what I'm saying again here. You know something? There are 2 perspectives that Shioriko-chan is talking about here. Well, first off, Shioriko-chan and is talking about the tickets being found under the printer. Not only that, she was also testifying about how any other culprit could have been able to get away with, to get away in time. Okay, let me read that again because I am stupid. But not only that, she's also testifying about how any other culprit would have been able to get away in time. Oh my god. She's also testifying about how any other culprit would have been able to get away in time. However, if you look carefully at her testimony, still she's jumping to conclusions about one of those things.
Never at the advantage. Stay out of my way, cold heart Titanic. Brought up from the grave, all my enemies panic. Yeah, I said I wouldn't make it, yeah, I heard it all before. I can't wait to see the face when I'm selling on my tours. I'm in a brand new place, every week I want more. Cause I remember all the days, even breathing was a chore. Yeah, I used to pop pills, buy cars, go crazy. Finally got sober, new scars won't change me. Swear there's no telling where this
1 minute is too small of a time frame for Kadan-san to not have noticed anyone. Oh, damn it. Alright, so it's about it being wedged underneath the printer is what I'm looking at, or the time. She's always taking photos. So if Ai's always taking photos, she would want to print something out too, because what's in that picture of Hanpan from Ai's phone or Conrad's phone? It's tough. This is tough. This is tough. Alright, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I think I know what it is, but I need to confirm my suspicions. Okay. It wasn't what I initially thought. I thought like it hadn't been for the fact that, so on the last bit, anyone else, I thought it was going to be, like you have to present I, you know, but from what I've seen, gotta present this. Oh wait, did I click the wrong thing? Oh, okay, oh, damn it, okay. Hang on, I think I presented the wrong thing. Alright, I clicked the wrong thing, oops. Okay, there we go. So I don't get it though, like why is it this? That doesn't make sense. Why is that? Well, let's take a look at the club room access records. According to what we talked about so far, the defendant went to the printing room between the two times she went to the club room, between 4:05 and 4:20. Printer was accessed at 4:10, and the defendant dropped her home off in her bag at the club room afterwards. So tell me, printing the tickets, why couldn't she have just dropped them off in the club room? Right. You fool. The obvious reason is because she didn't want to run the risk of bumping into anyone in the hallways or in the public. And how do you know that? Do you have any proof of that? Actually, it was breakdown. She'll always come and go during it. The defendant must have known this. It's a constant life, just like death and taxes. It's a constant life, just like death and taxes. Okay, Thomas Jefferson. Wait, not Jefferson. Was it? I think it was Ben Franklin that said that, right? Pretty sure it was Ben Franklin. What on earth are you talking about? Quoting American proverbs, baby. This time is no different. Several club members took the trip to the restroom. Luckily, that defendant assumed that this and didn't want to take any chances. Yes, this is the opening I've been searching for this whole trial. If that's the case, why haven't these members been questioned? Are you even listening to me? I said restroom. The restroom is nowhere near the printing room. I've already said that the defendant was the only one who headed towards the printing room. Going to imply that one of the other club members headed towards the printing room and prove it. Justify my stance. What's the plan? Well, I've got to produce some evidence to prove that someone else went to the printing room. The camera? Testimony. You mean like calling in a witness? Your decision is. I feel like showing evidence might be the way to go. Because, like, to prove that Colin went into the somebody else was with her, we have to show the camera. Now we don't have access to the camera, but if we are able to get that evidence and request for a search of the camera's files or the recordings from the camera, we might get it. Alright, I hate doing this, but I'm going to see. I'm pretty sure I'm right though. Okay, so looking at the playthrough, because I'm a cheater, it's that you're actually better off calling a witness. Now, I was brainstorming a little bit, like, okay, if it's a witness, who's it going to be? And I had a feeling it was going to be this person, and the playthrough confirmed my suspicions. So, hey, at least I wasn't too far off the mark in my line of thinking. I like to call a witness the better Warvina. She's thoroughly prepared by Daya. This witness testimony will show that there must have been another culprit. That's going to be one of my favorite members of Nijigasaki other than Karen. It's going to be Ai-chan. Prince calls Mishita Ai to the stand. Can you clarify why? Yesterday, upon talking to her, she had said that she had gone to the restroom alongside a few others. That's right. Although she made the implication that she or anyone else had headed towards the printing room, fans would like the opportunity to confirm if this is true. There are so many honest questions in this case, that much is for certain. The court believes that it has a duty to clear up any remaining uncertainties whenever possible. This includes hearing all relevant testimony. So you'll get to survive a little while longer. Savor it. It won't last long. I can guarantee you this. You may have reduced our smoking gun into a smoking pile of ashes, but this is just the beginning. I'm about to pull out the heavy artillery. Mark my words. Oh, hush you. Men shall be granted the opportunity to cross-examine Mishita Ai, but before that, the court shall take a recess. We will reconvene in 30 minutes. Adjourned. Okay. Okay. Defendant lobby. Alright, what we're going to do, save. We're going to call it here for right now, guys. Guys, thank you so much for watching my Gyakuten live playthrough. Be sure to give the creator tons of love. Support the game. Follow them on social media. Again, just give them a ton of love. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care of each other. Love each other. And I'll see you next video.